Hi crafters and welcome. Today is Saturday, June 6th, and I'm going to go over this bundle. This is Opulent Oasis. It is a 10-piece stamp set and a 10-piece die set. So let's start first with the stamp set. And I'll put the dies over here on the side. Put this underneath it. Alright. So as you can see, there are 4 word greetings and 6 image greetings. So let's go ahead. All right. So let me grab out a piece of basic white cardstock, and the words I'm going to do in secrecy. So let's go ahead and open that up. Let's get out some blocks from over here. All right. Here's the first one. This one says special thanks. I use my Secret C so much I might have to re-ink it. So I'm just going to hold it down there for just a second. So all of that good ink touches the paper. There's special thanks. You have this hello friend. You know what, I'm going to put that on my little skinny block. I'm going to first put it on the paper so it naturally acclimates to its normal size, its regular size, because these stamps you could bend slightly, have a curve if you wanted to. So there's hello friend. Here we have best wishes. I get just a little bit bigger block for this. And then the last one is sending happy thoughts. That could even go in a smaller block. I like to make sure that my greetings are appropriate to the size of block I'm using, so we don't get any chances of getting edges. So we'll hang on to that for a sec so all that ink transfers. And there you have it. So there are the 4 greetings. Let me grab out a spot or two. And let's go ahead. We have a couple of what I would call filler pieces. So let me go ahead. I'm going to do those in fresh freesia. So we have this little spot. I'm going to put the other one on the other side. So as you can see, they're just texture. They're just a background filler. All right. Sorry, I didn't see that that was glaring like that. Sorry about that. All right, let's go ahead and do one of the flowers. Now this is, this is one of those detail stamps. Can't think of the name right now. It'll come to me in a minute. Distinctive. It's one of those distinctive stamps. So when you stamp it, it will give you what looks like layers of texture. See that? So distinctive stamp. Here we have another one that's a distinctive stamp. This one I think I have to go. I don't want to put it on this side with the grid. This one is bigger, so I don't get lines, I am going to run over. I'm going to grab my Fresh Freesia big pad, and I'm going to grab my Old Olive big pad. Okay, so here we have our Fresh Freesia. So hold it there for just another second. Again, it is a distinctive stamp. So you will see all those different layers. It looks like, you know, it's on top of one another and it has that texture on it. All right, and then we have 2 leaves. You know what, I'm going to put this away since I have very limited room on my work surface. All right, so here's the leaf. I'm just remembering if my Old Olive needs re-inking or not. So we're going to hold on to that for just a second. Oops, I had something on the stamp. I do see it right there. A little goober on there. So, but it's a pretty good inking. Got it too close to the edge though, so when we cut it out, we will have a little weird shape. All right, you know what? Let me put all these over here because I'm gonna have to get to the dies real quick. Didn't think that out until when I was starting this. All right, because these all have to be washed off, and let's do that last leaf. Again, hold on to it for just, I'm not putting a lot of pressure on, but we're just holding on to it just so all that ink transfers into the paper. So there you have that. All right, that's it for your 10 stamps. Put these back over here, put this over here, and let's get out the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Put this. So I'm going to see if my mouse pad helps a little bit with this moving. So let me go ahead. I'm going to bring this over here. Sorry, I'm just setting things down over here where my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine was. So let's go ahead. Here are the dies. Now, one of them has your distinctive. See how this is there? So what that means is you'll cut it out and then you will run it through with that impressions plate and it will give you that distinctive look. Now, I want to show you though that this does not match up to that. Let me show you. I'm going to show you all 4 points. It looks like it cuts it there, but you can see the white edge. So you see, it does not match. Oh, it looks like it does there, but again, you're going to cut off some parts. you can see here. So it does look like it will go there, but it's not a perfect fit. So if you wanted to do this as an impression, you could, but be aware that all of this leafery around here, you would not have a stamp for. So this is pretty much on its own. This is the die that cuts it out. Oops, get it right here. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll cut these out, and then we'll show you how that big one works. All right, as always, we have our platform 1, our thin die adapter 2. I'm gonna put mine upside down since it's curving a little. And I have 2 of the 3 plates. Let me also grab some easy highlighter tape to help hold down the dies. All right, so here's the first one. We are going to cut out that big one in the middle. Like I said, there you have how it looks. I'm trying to not get my head into the picture, but you want it to line up right against those lines. That's stamped. And you're gonna see it's not a perfect fit over here. That's all right. Put this on the more on the outside edge of that. Let's run it through. All right, so there you have that die cut. All right, let's take this out. Let me get my magnet. So it's going to be stuck on my magnet. And let's go to the next one. So the next one here is this size. So again, let's go over here. Let's make sure that we have it set up good around those borders. Like I said, this one, I got too close to the edge, so that one leaf is going to kind of look a little wonky. Oh, and it moved. Even with taping it down, it moved a little. That's why I missed the magnetic plate. I still have it, but of course Stampin' Up! Hasn't carried it for over 3 years. And I'll still use mine every now and then. So it wasn't terribly bad. Got a little bit more white than I wanted to there, a little less white there. But it's still cut out pretty good. Let's get this next leaf. I'm going to do it over here so maybe I get a better look at it. Right, that looks pretty good there. That one through very smoothly. So let's go ahead. Let's take that tape off. And there you can see. Again, a little bit less white there, a little more there. So if I put my head into the picture, it probably would have been really spot on. Okay. And then here's my last one. None of these dies cut out the words, just so you know. All right, again, I'm trying to get right at that edge. Make sure I can see all of the beautiful color. Just moved it a little bit. Oh my goodness. Okay, moving it again just a little bit. So much easier. When I usually am doing this, I'm usually sitting down. So maybe standing up, I'm just a little bit off. But you can see again, have that line, that border there, but not so much on this side. So either I didn't tape it down correctly or it shifted a little bit when I was running it through. All right, so then the other dies. Let me put this over here. So the other dies, let me grab some scrap papers. All right. Sorry, I have my scraps over there. So I have garden green, and that looks like that's granny apple green. All right, because we have these pieces left. Remember, it's a 10-piece die set, so 4 of them cut out exactly, and then these other 6 are on their own. So I'm going to cut these little pieces out of the granny apple green, and I think I'll be able to do it all at once. Now, I don't always recommend to do it all at once, but these don't have a lot of intricate die details, so I think it's going to be okay just running them through. Oh, let me pick that up. All right. Oh my gosh, what am I doing today? It may be because I have my die plate 2. Remember how it was curved up? That might be pushing them through. So let me turn that around and we'll do another good cut. How about that? I think it's because I had this up like that and it's moving it when it goes through. So let me brush those off over here. And that might have been the problem on all of them. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's probably it. All right, so let's try this again. Let's get that here. Let's get that there. Let's get some of these right here. Let's get this last one there. All right, and now I have the plate 2 down. And now you can see it looks like none of them slid. So that's what it was. That was that plate 2 being up. So that wasn't good for die cutting. All right, this piece. Sorry if my head got in the way there. This piece cut out perfectly. It's just because there's so many intricate little parts there. It kind of got stuck. Let's see here. So there's that one. Let me get my take your pick tool to get these out. There's that one. I'll hold these up here in just a second. All right, let me put this over to the side. Let me bring my magnet over so I can get all of those and then they'll get lost. So here are those leaves. You know what? I'm going to put them on my hand. So there you can see those leaf cutouts. Here is our last piece. This is the one that's going to use your impressions plate. So the first thing you're going to do is you're first going to cut it out with the die by itself. So plate 1, plate 2, and 2 of the 3s. And here you can see it. It's there, but it's pretty flat, but it cut everything out. Now you're going to put this back in place. You're going to have your 1 and your 2. Sorry, let me grab it from over here. So you're going to have your plate 1 and 2. Then you're going to have your impressions plate, which is really that very thick silicone mat, and then your plate 4. So you take away your 3s and you're inserting that plate and number 4. Now here I also like to tape it down and over, just because I don't want it to move. There's going to be a lot of force going through here. So by doing that, it should stay pretty much in place. All right, so we have our impressions plate and our plate 4. All right. Now, hopefully, a lot of people don't use that tape because you've put so much pressure through on that paper. You've broken down a lot of the fibers. Sometimes it will stick on the back side, but I don't think we're having any problem here. I'm peeling off at a diagonal and nothing ripped. So now, can you see all of that texture? Where before it was flat, now it has all that texture. And if you wanted to now at this point, if you wanted to, let me find the right way. If you wanted to lay that on top, you could. Let's try it going through with that impressions, but like I said, it's not an exact match, as you can see right now. See, it's not an exact match. It doesn't fall in, but you essentially probably could. I'm just going to turn around to make sure there's not a way that feels better. See that? That looks a lot closer. Let's try it. We're here, we're experimenting. Let's try it. Let's go like that so it won't move. Didn't get my mat on right, so we're starting to fold over. I think we got through enough that you'll be able to see it. So you want to make sure you get all of that paper up off of, that tape off of there, because that will affect your die when you run it through the next time. So just make sure you get all of that tape up. All right, let me put that over there. So here it is. Like I said, it wasn't an exact fit, so you will see that ridge, but it does add some additional texture to that flower. So then if you wanted to put it over here, you could. Or you could leave it alone like this. All right, guys, let me get my mess. Let me put all my plates back over here. It's by my microphone, so I'm sorry. I don't know how loud that noise is. Let me grab all my dies. Get this back over here for just a little bit. Now I just knocked them all over on the floor. But here we go. Here's our dies. Here's our stamped pieces. Sorry. I remember there's only 5 of these, but remember we ran it through a couple times, so we have a couple extra. Okay, so there you have it. Here's what doesn't cut out with the dies. Here are your dies. Here's your impression piece. And I think that's about it. So there you have it. That's your introduction to Opulent Oasis bundle. If you don't mind, give me that thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. If you know someone who would like these videos, share my channel with them. Have them subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Last time I checked, I was like 4 away from 500. 4. So I would really love to get to that 500 mark. So if you don't mind, tell your friends about the channel. Have them subscribe. Most of all, have a great Saturday. Coming back tomorrow, I'll have some examples done with this bundle and we'll make a card together. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.